Hello, Squid and Octo kids! Welcome to It's a Splat Theory. I'm your host, Kat, and today I want to write what I would do for the Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC. This is the start of a multi-part series, and there will be more of this on the way. This video is not the full story. And before we get started, I want to clarify something. This is not what I think is going to happen. This is just what I would do with all the information they've given us to make a compelling story. I wholly expect this to be wrong, but it's a fun video idea, so let's super jump right into it. We start not in the Splatlands, or even in Inkopolis, but back in the Deep Sea Metro. We see Agent 8, and it's partway through a test, and the timer is counting down quickly. You're given control of Agent 8, but you were thrown in mid-test. You don't know what you're doing, and the clock has almost run out. You, as Agent 8, try to finish the test, but it's not enough, and the clock runs out. You didn't complete the test in the time given. Test failed. 8 looks around, panicked, before the teal ink pours over her, and while it fades to black, you can hear the distant laughter of Commander Tartar. Then suddenly images flashes across the screen, images of Pearl and Marina, and Agent 3, who is now Captain, and Captain Cuttlefish, and of people she met in the Deep Sea Metro, and Octolings, and other Octarians. Then it goes dark once more, before you hear in the distance someone speaking Inkish.
Agent 8! Agent 8, wake up!
Pearl's voice gets louder and louder, and Agent 8 opens her eyes, and you can see Pearl above her, shaking her to try and wake her up.
Oh, thank goodness you're all right. You had me worried there.
Pearl looks around Inkopolis, but it's not the same Inkopolis she or Agent 8 is used to. This one is mostly monochromatic, with something sort of like sand covering the ground.
Listen, I don't think we have a lot of time, and I don't know exactly where we are, but I think it has something to do with Marina. A few days ago, she was talking about...
Pearl's voice trails off as she glances over her shoulder, before looking back at 8.
Doing some experiments. But that doesn't matter, because I don't think we have enough time to sit and chat about that right now. We need to get a move on before it comes back.
Agent 8 looks around, confused, but Pearl helps her up and takes her by the arm, dragging her out of the middle of Inkopolis Square towards a more sheltered area. They both peek out, Pearl looking for something or someone, and Agent 8 looking out to see what Pearl is talking about. For a moment, nothing happens, and Pearl starts to turn back, but out of the corner of her eye, she sees it, and 8 sees it too. It has the vague shape of an inkling, but it's this dark, muddy gray, and its form is almost soft and dripping. The creature is too far away from them to see any other details, but Pearl pulls 8 back out of sight.
We need to get out of here as soon as possible. Who knows what other creatures could be out here?
She whispers. Pearl starts leading the way, trying to stay behind buildings, and always checking to see if there's anyone or anything there. They slowly make it closer to where the Turf War Tower normally is, but now it's a different, towering building.
If there's anything to get us home, it might be in there. It's worth a look anyways,
Pearl says with a shrug. She peeks out from behind the building. She and Agent 8 are currently behind, and sees one of the creatures pacing back and forth in front of the building. Its head snaps up, like it heard or saw something. Pearl and 8 quickly duck back behind the building, and Pearl puts her finger to her lip before plastering herself against the outside wall of the building. Pearl and 8 stay there for a few seconds, and nothing happens. And then suddenly, one of the great creatures appears, looking behind the building. Both Pearl and 8 are frozen for a moment, staring at the creature, which has bones floating inside its translucent body and red, glowing eyes. The creature stares back for a moment before reaching out to grab them. Pearl recovers first, shoving Agent 8 forward and pushing off the wall.
Run!
She yells at 8. The noise and fast movement gets the attention of a few more of the creatures, and they chase after them. Pearl and 8 run into the square and are headed straight to the massive tower in front of them.
Keep running! I'll meet up with you and find you once we've both gotten these things off of our trails,
Pearl says, and 8 nods. As they near the tower, Pearl shoves 8 to the side, and she runs the other way. 8 continues to run, with some of the creatures following. But as she looks back to see, it seems that most went to follow Pearl. After running for a while, and getting a bit of a lead from the things, she ducks into a building, and hides for a while in the dark, and watches out the window as they pass, a bit more slowly, trying to find her again. After a few moments, and not seeing any of those creatures, Agent 8 creeps out of the building and sneaks back into the view of the square, and in earshot of Pearl yelling,
"Get your slimy hands off of me, or so help me, I'll splat you off of the face of the planet!"
Agent 8 sees Pearl getting dragged by the arms by 2 of the gray creatures, and kicking and flailing to try and get out of their grasp. Although they don't seem concerned about her. They just start approaching the tower, and Pearl's shouting continues.
"Just you wait! Soon enough you'll be wishing you had let me go! Agent 8 will come and help me! And so will Marina! You will regret the day you cross Pearl Hazuki, you—"
And the door to the tower slams shut, cutting Pearl and Agent 8 off from each other, and leaving Agent 8 by herself. And that's all for part 1. I don't know how many parts it'll end up being, but I know I'll do as many as I need to finish this story. Comment below what you thought, and if you enjoyed the video, super jump over that like button, splat the subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And as always, stay fresh, stay off the hook, stay cool, and catch you later, Squid and Octo kids.